morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, to the channel IT Simplified. Hope you're having a good time with your family and friends. In today's session on Azure, I'm here to talk about Azure Container Instance. So when we talk about container generally on-prem, there are different ways we can deploy this. So if I want, I can put this on a physical box, or I can have this on a virtual machine in case I'm already using an hypervisor. And I can put a Docker engine here. And on top of that, I can deploy containers with my application. Now, when we talk about public cloud, we don't have access to those physical machines, right? So the only access that we have is to a virtual machine. So I can deploy a virtual machine, have a Docker engine on top of that, and then deploy containers with my application. But there's also one other way that we can deploy, and that is where Azure Container Instance fits in. And this is what we call a serverless deployment. And this is unlocked through the APIs. So you don't have access to the virtual machine. The only thing you need to do is specify the vCore and the RAM. So basically the compute that you want to give, and then you'll be able to deploy the containers with the application. So in this case, you don't need to worry about the underlying infrastructure, whether it's virtual machines or, say, for example, in case I'm talking about on-prem, it's physical box. So any compute related, I don't need to worry about. The only thing I need to worry about is the containers, the application, and the code that I'll be running on that. And that is what container instances makes it really easy and fast to deploy your containerized application. So let me just go to the Azure portal and see where you can find this service. So I can just do a search of a container instance, and it will take me to the service. If I go and click on add, and I can just fill up certain stuff, right? I have to pick the subscription, pick the resource group I want to deploy. I can give the container name, which region. And for the image source, I have three options. I can use a quick start image from the marketplace, which is right here, right, for both Windows as well as Linux. If I have already uploaded my image in the container registry, I can use that too. Or if you're already using Docker Hub or other registry and you have images over there, you can also bring it over here by providing the URL. So a couple of options in terms of the image that you can utilize. And both Windows as well as Linux operating system is supported. And this is what I was talking about in terms of sizing. So you can see I don't have a VM to choose here. The only thing I need to specify is the number of cores and the memory, and I'll be good to go in that. Then I can specify networking if I want this to be public or private or none. Based on that, I can provide my information. I can also create a DNS name label through which I can access this container. And I can also specify what ports I want to expose. So for example, port 80, if I have the certificates, I can also have port 443 open. And I can also specify if I want to restart or what policy I want for restart. So in case there's a failure, it's only restart at that specific time. It always restart or it never restart. And I can just tag it and just review and create. That's it. So that's one way of doing it. What I'm going to do is I'll show you another way, and that is through the Azure CLI. And for that, let's go and open the Cloud Shell. And I'm going to use three simple commands to bring my container up. So let's go and grab that. So let me just copy the first command. Go back to my Cloud Shell. So basically at this, I'm saying that to create a resource group, and the location of this is Canada Central. So you can see that was created. So the first command is done. The second command I'll use is to create the container. So I'm just going to copy this. And here I'm putting this in the same resource group which I created in the previous step. The name of my container will be C1. And I'm also giving or using the image which is there in the marketplace. So it's a hello world image. And I'm also specifying what name I want or what DNS name label space I want in this case. So if I can go back right here, you see the namespace that I want to give is ITS demo, and I'm also opening port 80 or exposing port 80 because that is how we will be accessing this container. So very straightforward. And let's hit enter. So the container was created successfully, and you can see the information over here. The DNS name label is ITS demo. It's talking to port 80. The protocol is TCP. The location is Canada Central. So that was done. But if you just want to confirm the status of the container, for that I can use this command. So basically show the status of the container, and you can see that the provisioning state is succeeded. Now, in case you want to access this, or actually let's go to the portal. I'm just going to type in container instance, and we should be able to see our container here. So I'm just going to minimize this. So you see the container name was C1, and we have the fully qualified domain name that we specified. I'm just going to copy this, and let me just put this in the browser. And here you go. You can see that my container is up and running, and we don't have to manage the machines or specify or deploy virtual machines. This is all serverless compute, and the only thing we need to worry about is the container and the image that I'll be using, or the code which is related to that. So in this video, you saw what container instances and how to spin this up on Azure. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.